is
Zaza. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and Wippa.
Hello, guys. Happy Thursday. It's Fitzy and Wippa. Welcome to The Old Podcast.
Oh, you're German, are you?
Ye Oldie.
Das ist alte
This podcast is coming up to 12 years now, isn't it?
Who?
I'd love to go back and listen to our first podcast, you know, just...
Was podcast around 12 years ago?
Probably,
Yes?
You sure?
It'll probably
100%.
it'll sound the same, exactly the same,
Yeah.
but
But a lot funnier, because we've definitely got better over time.
well said, mate.
Far more entertaining, far more succinct.
And how, they say laughter is the best medicine, don't they?
Don't need a doctor.
Either that or getting someone else involved in your relationship. Now,
What?
If you're already in a relationship, today on the podcast we're talking about introducing a third person.
I don't know if you're aware, I speak French. May I use the term ménage à trois?
Is
To
that
step up from croissant.
Yeah, well, Fitzy said on this show, which was German earlier, so culturally we're across everything. Kawaii means cute in Japanese.
I didn't know that.
Mm.
Interesting.
What's your one? Ich liebe dich.
Ich liebe dich, which is
Ménage à trois.
I love you in German.
Oh, okay.
Ich liebe dich. If you're at
Do
a
they sing it when they say it as well?
With the
it's a
bratwurst hanging out of their
beautiful
mouth.
song. It's like
Yeah.
it's like their Edelweiss over there. That's their big.
Ich liebe dich.
Edelweiss isn't German.
It's not
Austrian.
No, but it's
It's not anal vice,
No,
mate.
it's-
Oh, my
no.
God, I got the wrong
No,
podcast.
it's not.
got
that-
hemorrhoids.
Actually, that is a great idea for a podcast.
Or a band name, Fitz.
Oh, anal advice. Tom.
So
Man,
inappropriate.
I hope yours is working well. Or do you need another colonoscopy? Because I've got a GoPro here ready to go.
The sound of music.
Oh, my
the
God.
sound of music.
Wait, well, when you said have you introduced a third person to the
No,
bedroom, I
third
thought.
person, Tom.
Oh, my apologies again.
Yeah. What a confusing start to a podcast. I hope the rest of it makes sense.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Who have you seen on Tinder? Did it surprise you? Did you know them and had no idea that they were advertising themselves for a little bit of how's it going?
It's jackpot when you see someone on there that you know.
There you go.
don't you?
Hang on a minute.
Especially if they're married.
My
'Cause
wife
Tinder
came...
you can screenshot, can't you?
Yeah, I think you can screenshot all of them.
Wasn't there a few women over the years that Warney popped up a couple of times
I don't know if that's
Love
fair.
while he was in certain states?
I would say definitely.
I mean, that's jackpot.
When
Even if-
you get a message from Warney,
Even if you're not going to go on a date with him, to read his profile, to see
Yeah.
him on a
Yep.
jet ski with his top off, that would be
Hot.
amazing.
this woman said, I remember exactly what I was doing when I got a text from a friend telling me that she had bad news for me. I was putting our 1-year-old baby to bed and I was wondering what had happened to her. Why was she so desperate to talk to me? I immediately thought something was going wrong, but then I called her. She told me, I hope you're sitting down. She had found her husband, Denny, on Tinder. Oh, my God.
Swipe not.
At first, I refused to believe it, she said. Then the friend came around to show me the Tinder account, and there he was. He even included family photos, and he'd cropped her out. Ow! But pictures with one of the kids. What was more interesting was that his profile said that he was married. So he's probably looking for someone else to keep it a little on the quiet.
It's just
What?
reeks of
She said-
unprofessionalism there.
It's sloppy cheating, isn't it?
Well,
Come on.
there's evidence. It's so stupid. It's going to come out at any stage. There.
Maybe he wanted a babysitter.
He came home from work that day and I immediately burst into tears and told him what I knew. He said, "What?" I then managed to grab his phone, which happened to be unlocked, because I think he'd just got off a phone call. I locked myself in the bathroom and went through the app, and what I found disgusted me. There were literally hundreds of dirty messages between him and other women.
See, I just would. It's hard for her because, or do you start a fake account? See, the thing once you move past that person, it's not like you can go search for them again, can you? It's
They'll pop up again,
they'll
though.
come around.
Keep
Pop up
swiping and they'll come again.
Yeah.
Start up a fake one. Lure him.
A mate of mine, John, he's
Lure him
plopped.
into a basement.
Huh?
Torture him.
No.
Or just divorce
Tom
him.
is
Let him
yours
go.
free.
Oh, it is, yeah. It's got an opening over Christmas, guys.
Yeah, mate of mine, John, he clocked Tinder. Like, he swiped all the way to the end. Like, he couldn't go any further.
Can you clock it?
Yeah.
That's how keen he was.
Because you set a radius as well. You might
So
kill that.
is it 200? Do you swipe right 200? Is it 200 times? Does anyone know what? If anyone knows what the limit is on Tinder that you can swipe right with, give us a call. 13 24 10.
You're right though, says if you have your radius set on New South Wales,
Yeah.
I mean you got to be more than 200. I would have thought you'd be doing a good 5 hours of swiping.
There was a guy that I met
Here we go.
at a wedding that I went to at the weekend who met his partner. They're married now and they have a kid. They met on Tinder. And they met 300 kilometres apart. I said, how wide was your radius? And he goes, well, once you get outside of Greater Sydney, you do have to go in 100k jumps. And I was willing to travel.
What a reach.
300 k's away.
What a reach. And dragged it in.
That is a great effort.
Huge effort.
I'm looking for girls in Port Macquarie.
This woman goes on to say the women that he was chatting with and messaging didn't care at all that he was married with a child. What sort of women do this? The messages were all very sexual.
What an absolute loser.
I
I'm sorry to
remember
say it.
when I started dating my wife, we're still in love today, although in separate bedrooms. I was on Tinder because I'd done it for the show.
Sure you had. I don't remember that segment.
Mate, I was never on Tinder for Tinder purposes.
No. I was on the Trump dating app
Yes.
for show
Yeah,
purposes.
Sarah,
Tinder was
I've been
not.
on all of them.
Sarah, very
For show
popular
purposes.
as well. Can we add?
Yes.
Once we put Sarah up, I tell you what,
Oh, yeah.
Republicans went crazy.
Oh, there were
for
guns
her.
being
People with
fired.
guns, they like me. Guns and razor dogs.
Mate,
I'm
I
in.
loved your red mega hat.
Thank you.
But Lisa came home and said, one of my friends has called me and said they just saw you on Tinder. And I think she was serious about it.
But you had a girlfriend, so why was she?
No, it wasn't on Tinder. It was purely
So,
for the show.
Were
Oh,
you
right.
with your previous
no.
girlfriend, or were you with Lisa?
I know
or were
you
with
love
someone from
this
Tinder?
game.
So were
I
you in
was-
3 different relationships?
I wasn't with anyone at the time. I was with Lisa. I was committed to Lisa at the time.
But you were still in a relationship.
No, I wasn't in a relationship.
Water's
I'd
getting
left
muddier.
that relationship. I'd met Natalie Imbruglia, and then I was with my wife, and there was no crossover period.
And still on Tinder during all of this.
No, Matt, you've misread it.
Disgusting.
Was your OnlyFans? Were you still
I've got an
producing
OnlyFans account.
You do have.
Yeah, revealing all sorts of stuff I'd never reveal on the show.
Was that for the show as well?
That
or
was
is
for the
it-
show, yeah. It's all for the show, mate. In the form of entertainment. Have you ever seen an actor kissing somebody else? Have you ever seen a married person kissing somebody else on screen because they're acting? Same as what I do here for the show. Purely entertainment purposes.
Honey, we're rehearsing. I know it's at our home. I know it's our bedroom, but we're rehearsing for a radio
the show,
segment.
for the radio
show.
segment. It's not a visual. It is now. Everything's online. This is for the socials. There's Meet Tracy.
It's a new parody video I'm doing.
She's moving in for 3 weeks.
Yellowstone.
Isn't there,
Coming up at 8:50.
Isn't there a dating app though for married people that you can go on to? I thought there was
Ashley
one.
Madison.
Swingers.
Isn't that what Ashley Madison is?
Oh, that's is that Ashley
Well,
Madison?
that's cheating, wasn't it? But are you meaning people who are knowingly, like, we're a couple?
Yeah.
No. I'm married, but
Looking for someone to join us.
I'm up for a bit of hanky panky.
Yeah, right.
As long as we both understand that we're both in relationships.
To group? No?
Okay.
I heard a
Doesn't
story
exist.
one
I
time.
told you, it's Ashley Madison.
What is it,
Answered
Tom?
It's called No Strings Attached, guys.
Yeah, right.
So yep, I'll write that.
There's also a few others. There's Adult Friend Finder
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Militarymen.com.
and What's Your Price? There's another one, but I'm not sure
God,
what.
$4.95.
is a great name, isn't it? I wonder if they got that original
How about?
web domain.
I don't think I can say everything. I don't think I can say every name here, but there was a celebrity that we've had on the show only once, and she probably won't come back on.
Shocking.
But anyway, she and her husband invited a well-known footballer that played for the Rabbitohs that broke his jaw in the grand final, his cheekbone. First name rhymes with Lamb, last name rhymes with Lurgis. And they invited Sam Burgess over for a drink.
Yeah.
And then they were sort of chatting for a while and all this sort of stuff. And then they was sitting on the couch. Then it became really weird. And he got up and had to leave because he was going elsewhere. That's when he realised that this female celebrity and her husband were auditioning for people to come and join them.
Casting couch.
In the bedroom. And he went, oh my God, this is weird. Forget
But
about
I'm
that.
in.
No, not at all. So they meet people and invite them in if the interview process goes to plan.
But if that's your vibe, what's the problem? If everyone's
that's
on
what you wanna
board
do.
and you want to do that,
Go
have
if
a
you
good
like.
time.
I'm just offended I wasn't invited. Hey guys, I'm here. Still taking applications.
For the show. Segment for the show?
Segment for the show.
Segment for the show.
Put your pants back on.
It's so
Sorry, I
wrong.
just assumed I'd
Getting
won it.
someone involved. First of all, I don't think both people in that marriage is going to be 100% okay with it.
I think they are, though.
Oh, really?
Well, that'd be something they would bond over, don't you think? Like you'd meet each other and you and BJ go, yep, we're both on board with this. We like other people.
The one that you hear about, how a husband can sit back and watch
To his wife with another woman.
wife with another man. And you go,
No,
really?
that's weird.
That is so
That's
weird.
really weird. But I think what happens too, because some friends that I have, there was this sort of
Got a
slip
lot of
up.
friends.
There was this slip up that
Eastern
happened.
suburbs, see?
Where what happened was it was a big night, and another girl ended up joining him and his wife in the bedroom, and that then became a bit of a regular thing. That after a big night out, it was like, oh, this is so fun, it's funny. Are you coming back to ours again?
Was the wife still there, though?
Yeah. The wife was okay with it, and this kind of continued on for a while.
It can't. I mean, there's no happy endings. Oh, no. There's not. There's always someone that will get upset at some stage. That's what I'm trying to
Tom,
say.
I'm not going to move on from this. 13, 24, 10.
Yeah.
How did the third person end up in your relationship? Don't swear off air, Tom. Under
Well,
your
no,
breath.
you're at 9 minutes. No, keep going.
I don't care. I want to know how did a third person end up in your bedroom in your relationship? Like, how does it happen? Do you sit around and have a conversation? Like, do you and Gary go, "Hey, I've been thinking we should invite someone in," Sam Burgess style?
I think we're looking to send someone out just quietly rather than invite them in. Babe, can you get out? You're snoring.
Sarah's history, she's been getting rid of people.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
that's
13,
right.
24, 10. Get involved. Love your story.
It's time to stop putting off your trips and start celebrating summer with an amazing getaway.
Whatif.com has all kinds of accommodation options all around Australia.
Check them out on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel? We want to know how a third person ended up in your relationship.
This is weird. Samantha in Bondi has given us a call. Sam, what's going on? What happened?
Hi, guys. Look, I'm not going to say that I wasn't all for it, but
Yes.
it didn't really end well for me. So
Go back to the start. Who was it and how?
she was my best friend,
Right.
and he was my boyfriend,
Yes.
and we used to have big weekends and go out, and I was just so confident in our relationship and in our friendship that we would often end up in bed together.
Yes.
And it was great. We all had a good time, and I loved it, and I had no weird feelings of anything else going on.
Jackpot for him.
And then fast forward to me marrying him and her being the maid of honour at my wedding
Of
and
course, yes. Oh, that's
godmother to my children and all of those things.
weird.
And then I found out at the beginning of last year when I had just had my third baby
Yeah.
that she had actually, or they had rekindled their little moment. Minus me.
Without you there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, and did you, at the time, did you discuss that, hang on a minute, what's happening is one in, all in. We don't do separate side gigs here?
Well, it was like 17 years ago that it happened. So it wasn't really, we were young. We were in our 20s. It was, I mean, yeah, obviously she knew and he knew and we all knew that this was just for fun. And it wasn't like we were ever sober when we did it.
Didn't they want to ask you back in as well? Did you ask why that didn't happen?
No, well, this was an affair.
Invite
This
only.
was, like,
fair. Sam,
it was a separate thing.
who are you more disappointed in?
Well, I've forgiven him
Yes.
for the sake of my family,
Yeah.
Right.
but she's dead to me.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
we were friends for 25 years.
Can I ask, this is a really serious question.
go for it, mate.
When he wants to get intimate with you now, is it really hard for you to look at him knowing what he did?
Yeah.
Yep.
Even though you've seen them hook up before?
Yeah, because it wasn't the sexual act of it, but it was like that it was a 5-month long relationship, you know, like sneaking around, coming to my house, being in front of me with me having absolutely no idea. Like I had a 5-month-old baby and I had no idea what was going on.
So has intimacy stopped now with him? Like, do you find it really difficult?
It hasn't stopped.
No.
it took a long time to get back to it.
Yeah.
You know, some counselling and a lot of reflection and a lot of remorse from him. And but yeah, I still have my moments of like, ugh.
So does he? So he understands the damage that he's caused. He's not like, can you get a new best friend?
No.
Oh, no, he's over. He's learned his lesson there.
He came very close to losing it all. So
Oh, we bought a king size for a reason.
Sam, do you think one day that you could ever forgive your best friend?
never.
Never. Done.
I hope she
Dusted.
dies.
Oh,
Sorry.
well,
I know it's
that's,
not nice to
no,
say that, but
no,
I really.
well,
I hope terrible things happen to her. Let's say that.
oh, yeah, that's
Well, they
okay.
have already because she
Yeah.
lost her best friend. So.
Well, that's true, and maybe, you know, with inflation going up, she might be suffering there as well, and, you know, hopefully, I mean, maybe she got COVID. Who knows?
You know, well, she's at Bondi as well. She's probably paying $12 for a juice.
Yeah, and not to
So,
mention
there's
the
horrible
the,
things
the,
happening
the
to her.
parking as well, Fitz. And Samantha, does she have anybody else?
She was married as well. Yeah.
Oh, so
I-
broke up that.
See,
Well, it did for a short while. I think they're back together now. I don't really know. I'm
Well,
not-
you should hook up with him too.
I think he might have wanted to. Like he
Don't do
found
that.
out about the affair and he told me.
Oh, God, I'm
Don't
feeling
do-
left out.
fuck.
Yeah, I know. So I could have. I probably could have.
See,
but
I hope this is
thought,
a.
ugh.
I hope this is a deterrent for you, Whip, and I know you want it to happen. There's never ever a happy ending in this.
You said
Never.
that before, and you
There's
sort of
not.
stumbled over your words with happy ending, and I don't know. We have to look into that a little bit. I'm not suggesting Lisa and I would do this, but if there's a guy out there listening that would like to try
For the
Fitzy, for the
segment.
radio.
For a segment.
for a
There we
second,
go.
For a second.
for work purposes,
For a segment, yeah.
so I could share it with the listeners on top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
This is an amazing video that I watched yesterday. Got quite emotional watching it myself. Isaac Humphries. He plays for Melbourne United in basketball. He's a great basketball player, actually. He's spent time at the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA, but he wanted to sit down with his team. They had no idea what was going on, and he said to Melbourne United, "You can film this because this is a pretty big thing that I'm doing here." Very brave, very courageous. This is what he had to say.
A few years ago, I fell into a very dark place, a very lonely place. I couldn't be who I am, and I attempted to take my life. And the main reason behind me becoming so low and being in that point is because I was very much struggling with my sexuality and coming to terms with the fact that I'm gay. And I hated it about myself. I was disgusted at myself. I thought that I could not be that person within our environment, within a basketball environment. And it wasn't until I was in a community that's full of pride and happiness and joy. And it was a big wake-up call for me. But then came the big, question mark of how do I be a basketball player and how do I join a new team when I've finally come to terms with this about myself and I don't want to hide who I am anymore. I decided that if I'm going to join a team, that I'm going to come out publicly and just make sure people know, that you can live and you don't have to hide just because you're an athlete.
It was
that's amazing.
So moving. Unbelievable. He is the first official male professional basketballer to do it.
You're kidding?
No, I didn't think with basketball all around the world,
Yeah,
it's
right.
such a popular, and the resurgence of basketball here in Australia is unbelievable. The amount of kids that are playing basketball.
Loving it.
For him to do that in front of his teammates
Yeah, good on him.
was unbelievable.
Do you know what's amazing too? The amount of people that would have seen that, not only individuals, in society and fans of the game and, the population outside of sport, but the people within different codes that would have been thinking, I wish I had the guts to do that.
No.
Yeah.
I wish I had the strength and I could feel safe enough to be able to do that and tell everybody that that's exactly what I've gone through, because his story would represent so many people's stories, athletes, whatever part of the community you are in, that would have resonated true with so many people.
Well, it just goes to show, and we had Ian Roberts on recently to talk about it as well, how big that decision was for him to come out and tell everyone, back in those days as well, with the NRL and how tough it was, and fans, It's just
Like-
it's so courageous.
When you take a moment like Isaac doing that, I mean, I would like to think that, in 5 years' time, even sooner, whatever's possible, that you don't need to do that. You don't have to do that. No. And it's just, I'm going, yeah, whatever. Nobody's thinking about it. It doesn't take an announcement because it doesn't matter, full stop. But for him to do that, because we're not there yet, but for him to do that is such a big step forward towards it not being an issue whatsoever.
Hold on, Isaac.
Whatsoever.
Inspiration, buddy.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Hey, did you guys know that we made the New York Post?
Again,
No, we've
What
never
for?
been in the New York Post.
you know what I was thinking of? The LA Times when we had Dangy, the world's smallest man, and Rove McManus was living in LA at the time.
That's
He
right.
sent us a screenshot of page 3, and it was you and I holding Dangy down at Bondi.
Well, it wasn't really us. It was one of our listeners, and we want to thank Fiona from Hitchinbrook because Fiona rang in with a life hack that went viral around the world. This was the call.
My life hack is when you're flying like economy and the person in front of you is very inconsiderate and reclines their chair all the way back. You know the aircon vents in the top? That's
Yes.
you know, you can swivel them around. I just swivel it right on their face and I put it like full blast.
Is really clever, Fiona. Fiona, you've outdone yourself this morning.
And they can't ask you to turn it away because you can then ask them to put their chair up.
They're in your space.
How good is that? So then that went viral. New York Post picked it up. What I do love about this is that 2 weeks later, news.com.au here in Australia picked it up, and at the end of the story, they wrote this article was taken from the New York Post.
Okay. But what's funny about that is, in the radio game here, we have what's called a publicist, and they send out all our headlines to the news services here in Australia in case they're interested in going with this article or what we've spoken about in the morning. So the news.com.au, they barred it and they went, no, don't worry about it. We'll throw that one into the bin.
Yeah.
New York Post said yes, and then...
Yep.
News.com.au said, all right, then we'll jump on board.
Well, that's the only way we're getting into news.com.au. We've got to get into the New York Post first. Jess, our producer's just confirmed as well. New York Post, news.com.au. Lad Bibles.
No
picked it up,
way.
everyone.
We've made Lad Bible.
You've made it.
Lad Bible.
Oh, my God.
Basically, Keith Urban had to go to America to get famous, and now it's big in Australia.
Well done.
So well done, guys.
That's exactly what it is.
Thank you very much to Fiona too. Great call.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Welcome to the Oscars. What are we doing this for?
Mate,
What's
we're doing
going on?
E-News. Says, sorry, normally it's at 7:30. I'm jumping in here.
All yours.
When I see something so big, I snatch and grab. I run, and I take it from you. Okay, so you will not hear this at 7:30. If you're listening right now, congratulations. Your timing is perfect. There is a Hollywood superstar, Fitz, who has launched a singing career. And I picked this up on TikTok because, I spend, on average, not long, about 7 hours a day on TikTok.
Is it Gwyneth Paltrow?
No,
she
it's
can
not.
sing. Not
She
many
can.
people knew that.
She
What was-
did Baby Let's Cruise.
Duets with Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
I love him.
Is that the name of the... What was the movie that was it?
Duets.
Was it Duets?
Yeah, the song is Cruising.
Oh, Cruising.
You
That's
got that
it.
there, Macca? This was a great song. And then she,
What other actors out there can sing?
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, she's good.
got a phenomenal voice.
Yep.
Russell Crowe.
Russell
Yeah.
Crowe.
Toe
course,
fog,
yes.
baby.
Scarlett Johansson. She's very good.
Matthew McConaughey.
No,
No.
he doesn't sing and sing.
No, he doesn't
Reese
sing.
Witherspoon can sing.
Johnny
Yep.
Depp seems to be performing more
Does he?
than acting.
Reese
currently,
with a
doesn't he?
mic, if you know what I mean.
Oh wow, that stings.
There it is, mate.
Reese
Right
with the
there.
stage, and off she goes.
Yeah, there. No, you're not afraid to double up on it. The star I'm talking about, and she's actually got a close connection with this show because she helped us out when we were trying to get Matt Damon on the show. Her name is Tara Reid.
Hey, Matt Damon, it's Tara Reid here. And Fitzy and Wippa are waiting for you to call them on 132410.
Okay.
They know you're in Australia, and they sent the traffic pig to the set of Thor, but they couldn't get it. Can you make their dreams come true?
Please.
And go on the show? Call them now, 132410. Okay, Matt, you better do this because they really are huge
Better
fans.
do this.
All right,
Dribbler.
bye.
Don't hear enough
Mate,
about Tara Reid.
Do you know what? We waste a lot of money on Hot Wheel World Records.
And Cameo.
That is money right there, well spent.
If you can't get Matt Damon, at least you've got Tara Reid through Cameo. Remember, she came here in the studio, and I know we have a no drinking policy here in the studio. I don't know what was going on in Tara's water bottle, but by the time she ended up at Icebergs, and we had a colleague that was there, she was all over him like a cheap suit.
She came over and had a conversation with me for 5 minutes. Unfortunately, I was on the other side of the room.
In what language?
She didn't know where I was.
Oh, she was so big for a moment there.
Hey, she's launched a TikTok account, right? And what's great is she just takes a moment. She goes heavy on the eyeliner, doesn't she? She doesn't look exactly like she did back in the American Pie days, unfortunately. It looks a little bit... it looks like it's been a bit of a battle at times. Let's have a listen to some of her recent work.
She was in that movie. That's why she's doing that.
I know, she learned to drum.
Just playing with the kids, or
No, it's not. It's
Doesn't
a couple
feel
of.
serious,
It's in her Halloween outfit, and she's taken her drumsticks along to remind everybody of the movie she was in. Says
when she had a big career.
Did she do Sharknado?
Yes.
Yes, she did Sharknado 5, 6, 7, 28. That was the first single, I think, off the new album, I Am Tara. Here's the second one.
Tonight I'm gonna be rocking it, dropping it, shake my ass, no stopping it. I look hot in it, I look hot in it. Woo!
What song is that?
I don't know. The next take's in English.
She's going for it. I think that's her Yellowstone song, isn't it?
No, not everyone does a Yellowstone song, mate.
Yours is later on.
8:50 today, the release of Thoroughbred.
Prime
The
time.
Yellowstone is back.
I'd rather listen to Tara.
Well, that's good news because she's got a third song.
Here comes the sun, do 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 do, and I say it's alright.
As it turns out, it's not.
Did she say "Here Comes Our Son"?
Yeah, she's got the lyrics
Oh,
wrong.
no.
listen.
Here comes the sun,
Here comes a
Our
son.
son.
and
Yeah,
I
just
say
one of many.
Our son.
it's
I know our son.
alright.
She now sounds like one of those contestants in Idol in the stage where they go in front of the judges, and she thinks she's
got it.
nailed it.
I don't think she's so off key. I think she's all right.
Oh, Sarah, give me
You're
a break.
painting a picture. If you didn't see what she looked like and that was just random audio, you'd
No,
think that person
no.
was reasonably in tune.
And that's why MDG is saying it sounds like a punter who thinks she
Yeah.
can sing and can't, while the
No.
judges sit there
Hey,
giggling.
Matt.
That's what makes it worse.
Still would, though.
Of course
I
you
would yell out for
No, you
encore
wouldn't.
if she was performing.
More. No one will ever ask for any more of
Hey,
Tara.
Matt.
Oh, hey, Matt. Yeah, good on you, Tara. Thank you.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Lights, camera, clarity.
Ooh, Sarah.
The top trending stories in entertainment this morning. Charlize Theron has opened up about more of her experience on Mad Max. So remember, it was a few months ago we heard that Tom Hardy, her co-star, was actually quite horrible to work with. And he would rock up hours late, and she, at one point, the two of them got into such fights that the movie company, I think, had security for her because she was so uncomfortable around him. Yeah, anyway, she has told more stories. So this is when they were filming in Namibia, the Mad Max film. And yeah, some not great stuff was happening for her offset. Here we go.
For me, it was important just to know that I was safe because safety is a bit of an issue there. I got broken in, 3 in the morning, 5 times. That was really scary. I ended up feeling really safe because if you know the movie, the War Boys, the majority of the War Boys were actually real military, Australian military that George brought out. But I would text them when I would hear something. I would text them, and literally 3 minutes later, I would see their flashlights coming in, and I just kind of relied on them, and they kept me safe the whole movie.
God, that would have been scary.
Do you remember George Miller had to move that because they were going to... Weren't they going to do it? But it was all green,
It
wasn't
was in the desert, but then we got a whole stack of rain beforehand and it all flowered.
So they had to go to Namibia.
That's right.
He's filming a new one now.
Yes, he is.
What, new Mad Max?
Yeah.
Is Hemsworth's in it?
I think he is, yes. He was cast in it.
I didn't know God, imagine going long days on set and then not getting sleep at night because you're thinking someone's going to break in.
Yeah, but imagine also having the special forces on hand.
I was going to say, the Aussie military, hands up, happy to come and look after you, Charlie.
Not a bad gig.
Isn't it?
Consider me on call.
Pretty proud. Guys, Mike Tyndall, who we obviously know, married to Zara Phillips, part of the royal family. He is in the jungle for the British version of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, filming in Queensland, and he's recalled the mortifying moment when he first met his mother-in-law, Princess Anne.
So I had a bit of like a 30th birthday. It was a disco 70s themed one. I was dancing on the dance floor. I had like flares on. It was quite tight. Nothing ever fits. So I was dancing with my mother-in-law, and I did a job in front of the mother-in-law. Ripped my trousers straight in front of her, and it happened to be that my boxers that I had on at that time said "nibble my nuts." And as I've turned round, she's gone, "I'd rather not." And I've gone, "Yeah, I'm going."
Awesome.
I
So the beat out word was the S word, wasn't it?
He said, which is a dance move, I don't
S-drop.
know. An S-drop. What
Yeah.
is that?
Well, Tommy,
Is it
you
where
do
you
one.
did the splits?
No,
Did you say S-drop?
Yeah.
I could spell it out.
SL.
No, I know what
Yeah,
it
but what's the
stands
dance move?
What is the move? I don't know.
It's like where you drop a hand. You got that.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
like a
yeah.
bar
Oh, Tom,
grind.
that was really sexy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's
amazing.
gone like that.
Yeah.
And split his pants.
Right.
And that's when the nibble my nuts has been revealed.
Well,
Sure.
I wonder if I wonder what the chat was for Mike from Zara and the royal family before he went into the jungle.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a
He's sharing
story
a
that
bit.
they want to share?
And especially now that we're starting to learn that him and Zara just love getting on the sauce
Yep.
and ripping it up.
He said that's how we bonded with each other.
Yep,
Was
yep.
just getting absolutely smashed together.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, all the media reports are that he needs to zip the lip, but I don't think Claire's fussy.
You know
I don't
what?
think
You
she's.
know,
And it
Queen's passed
leaves
away.
the Queen in a good light as
You
well,
know.
you know?
I think
Or was
Princess
it Anne?
Anne. Yeah, it's Princess Anne. I think she's pretty fine.
Anne
with
has a
things.
bit of a laugh.
Yeah, I
too,
think
doesn't
so.
she? She's loose.
No one hears from Anne.
No one cares.
She's the hardest working royal in the bunch.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, she works the most days
She's not
of the
hanging
year.
out with Epstein, is she?
No,
No.
hopefully not.
God, no. Finally, guys, Chris Hemsworth. So this new show of his, it's called Limitless. Have you guys heard about this?
Limitless.
Yeah,
As
and
in,
it's not a remake of the film. That was what I thought at first. No, the whole thing is the premise is he's trying to discover, sort of like old mate does, Todd Sampson, discover if you can combat aging and the full potential of the human
I
body.
have heard about this.
By putting himself in really extreme circumstances. Like there's this one, I saw a clip for it, and he's hanging off what would be, you remember the bungee jump you did in New Zealand?
Yep.
So the carriage sort of thing
Don't.
that's in the middle of a valley. He gets lowered down 100 feet from that, but still however many 1,000 feet in the air, and he has to rope climb back up. And the thing is, he said that when they planned all of this, his trainer said to him, you need to be at your lightest ever weight because you have to haul yourself back up. But because he injured himself, the only time they could film was straight after Thor. So he
he's
was at his
bobbed.
biggest ever weight. So he said, so it's all these sort of challenges.
awesome.
Anyway, turns out the family had some pretty mixed feelings about him being involved.
My dad was like, don't do it. This is crazy. What are you doing?
Yeah, because he loves you.
Because he likes me, yeah. My wife, on the other hand, yeah, you'll be fine. Go. Yeah,
Is that right?
Remember to do the dishes when you get back. No, she was like, all of them were like, why are you doing this again? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
To live longer? Yeah, but what if you fall? You don't live long, no?
I love the idea. I'd love to watch that show.
Yeah,
Mate,
it looks
you
amazing.
would not do one
No,
of those challenges.
absolutely not. I never said I would, but I'd love to watch it.
But you want to live longer, mate.
Yeah, but I'm not going to
Push
climb
your
up a
body.
rope.
Yeah,
I'm not a rope climber.
It's not in a little pill. You're not going to find it in a little pill.
Well, what's he doing, like ice baths?
So he does like an ultimate, not a bath, like jumps into the actual freezing water and has
Right.
to swim. I mean, how long would you do that for?
Yeah, forever.
Would you get in at the North Pole, get in the water?
I did an ice bath for the first time the other day.
Yeah, but you were in the Southern Highlands
Yeah, it
in a
was freezing.
spa.
Yeah, but we'd put 5
In
bags
front
of
of a
ice from the
fireplace.
service station in.
Yeah, but would you actually jump?
I was
like
in
they've
there for
cut a-
3 hours.
No, you weren't.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Actually,
Yeah.
90 seconds. I pushed it out.
Did you feel good afterwards, though? It does give you it does. It's, Well, it's, you know what? It's when when you have a big night out and you're hungover and you go for a swim in the ocean the next day.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling.
That's
you know
not
what?
Chris Hemsworth is doing.
I'd come out of a sauna. So this is different because then I thought about what you've been doing, Fitz, where you put the shower on cold at the end. I thought about that, but I'd come out of a sauna, so I was already like, oh my God, it's so hot in there. Yeah. And then jumped into the ice bath, so I was looking for that relief anyway.
Sounds really stressful.
So then when
Sauna to spa.
I'm just saying it's different. Different to then, putting the cold on at the end of a shower, which I still don't think I could do.
And what did Wolgan serve up that night?
I wasn't a Wolgan. No, I wasn't there. Nope. Then went for a massage and a facial. It was beautiful.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
So good to have season 5 of Yellowstone back. Yellowstone only on Star.
How many more people can they kill on this show?
Doesn't matter, mate.
Thing. The whole area's just been wiped out by this family, haven't they?
It's about a land grab. There's some significant property up for grabs, especially that ranch.
Is
Can't let Yellowstone.
Perrottet on there with no stamp duty?
Not a state issue. Not a state issue.
Okay.
But the Yellowstone Ranch is under threat, mate. You've got to understand that. And when the Dutton family get together and say, hey, take it easy with our ranch, you know they're not here to muck around.
You wouldn't last 5 minutes on this show. No, you wouldn't. If another family rocked up with a couple of shotguns, you'd be hiding under the house.
Not true.
Have you been wearing your hat that they sent you, Stan, and also
and
your Dryzerbone vest?
Yeah, I got the vest. I'm afraid of that, mate. I wear that and nothing else in the backyard.
It's not acceptable.
Absolutely nothing else.
Especially around children.
John Dutton wouldn't do that.
Riding a horse. Vladimir over here. Shirtless with
a salmon in my mouth. Do you know what it is too about Yellowstone? It's like the wilderness and the Yellowstone area of Montana is like another character in the film. I love watching the buffaloes run free while I sip a whiskey on the front porch.
Are they extras?
No, the real buffaloes.
Be the buffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, be the buffalo. Have you got that tattoo yet?
Oh, have I got that tattoo? I should get that tattooed.
Be the buffalo.
Were you serious about getting it, or you were joking?
Mate, I've put you in touch with the people at Bondi Inc. Wendy's going to sort this whole thing out.
You reckon? I mean, it's a whole other thing to go from be the buffalo as a life motto to getting it tattooed.
Yeah.
But no, I would. I believe it.
Do you know what it is about Yellowstone as well? It's about the soul searching that you do. It's about the different characters. And when things go wrong and John Dutton turns to Rip and Rip says, I'll fix it, you know what's about to happen.
Are you dribbling out the side of your mouth?
It's very hard to concentrate.
It's whiskey.
You're like a stroke victim.
It's whiskey.
You're salivating over this show.
I love this show.
I thought you'd see yourself more
ranch
as a Rip, to be honest with you.
Rip, yeah, I'd be Rip.
Black hair, all
But
man.
Casey's the hot one.
Not Whip.
That my wife's obsessed with. When Casey doesn't have his shirt on, she thinks Casey's got the sexiest back ever on TV.
You're more Rip Van Winkle, aren't you? Is that the guy that sleeps all the time?
Who's he?
Well, like Rip Torn, perhaps.
Riptide.
Oh, it's not.
Or just ripped. Let's move on, guys, because I have got a bit of a treat for you today. As you know, I'm a Yellowstone fan. Put together a special song. It's just many songs have been written about cowboys, but have you ever heard a song written from the horse's point of view? And there's some beautiful breeds out there. I love a stallion. I love a thoroughbred. I love a chestnut. I love a stallion.
Really?
An Arabian. I love them in the mounting yard.
What?
I ain't afraid of bareback.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't actually know what I'm saying.
You did say stallion twice.
Did I? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I've put together a song called Thoroughbred.
There's a video also, unfortunately.
Is there?
Yeah, of course there is, mate. And you know what's great? We've got those mechanical horses around the office, so I dragged a couple of those horses in.
Abused those one day, didn't you?
I think I make out with one at the end.
Awesome.
Oh
Broke the back,
gosh.
quite literally.
But I would like to play to you. New single drops today, guys. New singles out. Self-release, independent release. It is Thoroughbred. Thanks to Yellowstone. What's wrong now, Tom?
No, it's on up on our
video.
Instagram. The video's up. Let's keep playing the song.
Got the vest on. That's awesome. That's hot. If you're married, don't watch it, girls. Have a listen to Thoroughbred.
People don't know what it's like to have 4 hoofs and stand up all night. How does it feel when you hear the whip crack? You try to run off, but there's a fat one on your back. I'm a bucking bronco, and I can come pronto, an old chestnut, and I'm ready to strut. I'm a Clydesdale with a giant heart. Load up the barrels, and I can pull a beer. Got a fine black stallion, ready for a battalion of Mustang. Come on and join the gang. At the end of the day, I take a poo in the hay. I'm a thoroughbred that's always thorough in bed. Yeah. That's right, I'm a thoroughbred that's always thorough in bed. Now I need everybody to start to put your hands together. All right, off lead. Yeah! All right! I got you now! I got you! Here we go! I'm saddled Dutton family all back in town. Montana's finest with a strong backbone. But my real home is Yellowstone. I'm a fucking Bronco and I can come Bronco. I'm an old chestnut and I'm ready to strut. I'm a Clydesdale with a giant heart. Load up the barrels cause I can pull a big got a fine black stallion. Ready for a bounty and a Mustang. Come on and join the gang. At the end of the day, I'm taking poo in the hay. I'm a thoroughbred who's always Tara Reid band. Been a really big day. Hope you like the song. Remember to drink a bit of moonshine. Shine your boots and look after your lady. Keep that boot scooting going. Thanks very much. Enjoy the song. It's called Thoroughbred. Tell your friends and family.
Oh.
Very abrupt ending.
A murmur.
Did that in one take?
That's always thorough in bed. Tommy,
press stop on
where
the
can
cassette.
the people get it, Tom?
Oh, it's on our
Where can they get
Instagram.
it,
Yeah,
Tom?
the clip is amazing.
Where can they download it, Tom?
No, you can get it from Sanity.
Yeah.
Brushes.
The Ray Hadley Best of Country Music album available in time for Christmas.
See you in Tamworth. Thanks, Yellowstone.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.